do me a favor? And I said, walk out to your Ferrari 488, sit in the front seat and cry me a river.
What are like 2 or 3 things like inside their DNA that has made them successful?
It's hunger. It's actually the desire to become someone or something.
What is your advice to someone who's hungry, someone who wants to, they're 18, 19, they're hungry, they want success?
Tony Robbins says change happens in an instant, the instant you decide to change.
Finding your ex-wife, getting married, getting divorced, what happened?
I fucked up.
Yeah.
All right, I fucked up. Guys, if you see red flags, they will probably not turn green with more time. The life-changing moment for me, though, is when the doctor came in and told me, plus her family, like she wasn't gonna make it.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Successful DNA. I have my friend Austin Medlin on the pod today. What a treat we have. Austin, welcome to the pod.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the tour. The office is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, man. So let's dive in with the juicy stuff. Let's just start there with your story and just following you around on Instagram. I'd like to think of you as they can hurt you, but they can't kill you. And arrested twice, girlfriend had a tragic accident, divorced, but you keep getting back up.
Yep.
Let's talk through all 3 situations. Obviously, was the girlfriend first? Is that the first time, or did you get arrested before that? Or
I got arrested in high school, actually at Clearwater Beach, because I'm born and raised in Tampa. So
what high school did you go to?
Wiregrass Ranch. Okay. I was the 3rd graduating class. My brother was the 1st.
Okay.
So my mom shipped me off there because I was getting in too much trouble. Yeah. So she thought that if we go to this new school, maybe I'd get in less trouble. And apparently that didn't work. Yeah. But yeah, dude, that was when I was 16 at the beach. The whole school was there. It was like one random Saturday, and I had a Gatorade bottle of just straight vodka, and I was passing it around to everybody. And the cops told me that they were just watching me, and I'd hand a Gatorade bottle, and then they drink it and kind of make a face. And like, well, that's not Gatorade or water. And so they arrested me in front of the entire school. Everybody watched me get arrested. And luckily, they said, if you can have a parent get down here before, I think it was like 5 o'clock or something when we have to leave, we'll release you and not take you to jail. But I still had it on my record and had to do like court and papers and classes and all this stuff to get rid of it. So that was first. And then second was, my girlfriend in college passing away. I was 20. She got hit and killed by a car. And then about a year after that, I got a DUI. So that was not fun, but luckily for me, they sealed and expunged that. I had to do all kinds of stuff at the breathalyzer in my car. I had I had to give a speech in front of like a panel. I had to do community service, but I got that off my record. And then divorce came after that. Yeah. And
then the tragic accident. So you're 20 years old?
I was 20, yeah.
How long had y'all been dating, and what's the story? What happened?
We were dating for a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
And
she was the one.
Yeah, I mean, she was great, man. Yeah. She really was. Like, she was really special. I mean, we were young, but I think it was the first girl I ever loved and like really cared for. And what happened was I was doing network marketing at the time. And so I was like locked in, building my network marketing business. She went out that night to kind of blow off some steam because it was actually the anniversary of 2 of her friends passing away. They died in a tragic car accident. So her and her friends like went to the 1-year memorial, and then they were like, let's go out, let's get some drinks, kind of blow off some steam. And then she ended up passing that. It was actually 10 days later, but she got hit by the car and then was in the hospital for 10 days. But I got home, her friend texted me and said, hey, Brooke's drunk, can you come pick her up? I said, absolutely, I'm on my way. I woke up my roommate, we drove down, and right when I turned the corner, it was like a straight shot to where I was picking her up, and I saw red and blues, and I was like, and I told my roommate, I was like, man, that makes me nervous. They said Brooke was running around drunk, and we got there was 1 cop there, no paramedics, no ambulance, anything like that, and she was there in the street, and I found the watch that I had bought for her. It was a Marc Jacobs watch. I found it in the road like about 100 yards from her body, like all the way across the intersection just from the impact. And I still have that watch in my office, and it has her birth date and death date on it just to remind me of her, remind me that life is short. Because I used to always think I was invincible. Yeah. I used to think I could just come and go as I please. Like, I still have videos of when I was 16 going over the Howard Franklin Bridge at 110 miles an hour, and one of my buddies left his keys in the other car that we were with, and it had a lanyard on it, and we have a video of us laughing going over 100 miles an hour over the Howard Franklin Bridge. and we're passing the keys from one car to the other. So we had to get close enough to like hand the keys with the lanyard out the window going 100 miles an hour. Like I just didn't really think bad things could happen. And then when I witnessed that, I was like, oh shit. Like the life-changing moment for me though, is when the doctor came in and told me plus her family, like she wasn't going to make it. He just kind of shook his head and she's like, she's not going to make it. And her dad turned and looked at me and he was like, I'm honored that my daughter was in love with you. And in that moment, I was like, I can go up or I can go down. There is no in between. And I chose to go up. So I didn't want to turn to drugs and alcohol and things like that. I just went to the gym twice a day and just locked in on myself and focused really on myself. When people tell me like, dude, you have nice arms. I'm like, I worked them out every day for a year.
Was she driving or was she a passenger?
She was walking.
Oh, wow.
She was. So what happened, it wasn't the driver's fault at all. The light was red, so he was pulling up, he was going, and then he was slowing down because the light was red, and then it turned green. He was kind of far away, so then he started speeding up again, and then she walked out in front of him.
So at that point, 10 days later, she passes. What's going through your head? What's up, you guys? I wanted to introduce to you our done-for-you Airbnb investing service called BNB Turnkey that has massive tax implications. It's basically an investing service that allows you to invest in cash-flowing Airbnbs and not do any of the work. It's best explained in 3 phases. Number 1, we find, analyze, and underwrite the property. In phase 2, we handle all the interior design and construction. And then phase 3, we manage the property on the back end. The best part is most of our clients qualify for the short terminal loophole of the IRS tax code. This allows for average clients to write off over $200,000 in depreciation on their tax bill. For more information, click the link in the description to connect with our team. As always, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the episode.
Well, dude, it was spring break. And so everyone from our school left. They all went on this cruise together. And so really it's just me. My family came up and her family was obviously there, but it was just like a moment of realization. You can go up or you can go down. There is no in between. And I have to be the best version of myself. And that's really where I learned and started practicing the law of increase, which is leave everyone and everything just a little bit better than you find it. And I was like, man, I really need to start taking life seriously. I really need to be a better human and realize that life is short. And that's how I've been able to keep getting up every time I've gotten knocked down, because I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful to have what I have and be where I'm at and have the friends I have and the family. It's like there's so much to be grateful for. And that's also how I avoid burnout. People all the time, like my buddy Adam, he called me and he said, dude, I'm just frustrated. I'm burnt out. And I said, hey, do me a favor. And I said, walk out to your Ferrari 488, sit in the front seat and cry me a fucking river. It's like, dude, you have a beautiful wife, you have a kid, you have another one on the way, you have an amazing dog, you live on the water, like you have so much to be grateful for. If you're feeling burnt out, you just aren't practicing enough gratitude.
Yeah. Then I slip up 1.5 years later, DUI, is that right?
About a year later, yeah.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah. No, it was right before my 21st birthday.
Okay.
So the cop pulls me over and it was the same story when I was 16. He's like, you're not even old enough to be drinking. Like, what are you doing? I was working at a bar downtown Orlando and just drank a bunch at work and kind of after partied a little bit and then thought it was a good idea to drive home. When I got arrested though, I was so grateful because I had driven drunk hundreds of times before that.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like I wake up in the morning, no idea how I got home and my car's in the driveway.
Yeah.
And I'm like this, like you just don't think like it's stupid. And I got arrested and I was like, at least I didn't hit anyone. I didn't crash. Like it could have been way worse. And then I made the commitment that day sitting in jail. I was like, I will never drink and drive again. Yeah. So like at Meat Market tonight, if I drive, I won't have one drink. Yeah. It's just not worth it.
If you do, you'll Uber.
Yeah. I'll leave my car. I'll call my assistant and have him come pick it up.
Yeah. So that's the high school you and the 20s and 21s, you, the tough times. Let's back it up before we get to the turning point. Growing up, you mentioned your mom had kind of sent you to Wiregrass, but even before that, adolescent years, what was life like? What impacts were made then that affect you now?
Dude, it was really good. Yeah. Like, I know people have a story of like really tough beginnings and stuff like that. By every stretch of the imagination, like I was extraordinarily blessed. My parents really worked their ass off to make sure that my brother and I, and then I have an adopted sister as well, were taken care of. They got divorced, I think I was about 12, and that was another inflection point for me, and it was actually really great because I realized, okay, my parents are now separated, which means I get 2 birthdays and 2 Christmases. And like, I just like spun it into something good, where a lot of people see their parents getting divorced and it's like really tragic. Yeah. For me, it wasn't a bad thing at all. And I got to learn like street smarts and hard work and mindset from my dad. And then I got to learn book smart, how to respect women, like from my mom. And then I just parlayed those together to create who I am today.
Cool. Where'd you live growing up?
Right here in Tampa.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Lutz.
Okay.
And in Lutz, there's like no HOAs. You can do whatever you want. So I had like go-karts and motorcycles and, you know, we'd pull into the neighborhood and I'm like 7 and my dad's like, you want to drive home? And I'm on his lap, you know, steering the car.
Lutz to Wiregrass isn't that far. It's like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, we moved when my parents got divorced to New Tampa because my mom wanted to be closer to her sister. So just for help with us while they were going through the divorce. And so we ended up moving to New Tampa, and my mom still lives there now.
You're still close to your parents now?
Very. Yeah, I'd say my dad's my best friend.
Okay, cool.
Like if I were to get married again, he would be the best man in my wedding.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Next period, you let's talk through finding your ex-wife, getting married, getting divorced. What happened?
I fucked up.
Yeah.
All right, I fucked up. Guys, if you see red flags, they will probably not turn green with more time. Yeah. Like that would be my advice to you. If there's red flags, run. Like there's probably better out there for you. I fucked up. So, but you know what it was? Like, I don't want to blame my girlfriend who passed away, but when she did pass away, I had this belief that the next person I seriously date would be the one, because Brooke will guide me and lead me to the person I'm supposed to be with. So even when times were tough, even when I was getting cheated on, even when things weren't good, I had this thought in the back of my mind of like, yeah, but this is my person. Brooke wouldn't lead me to this person if it wasn't meant to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, it was kind of weird dynamic there, just like mentally working through it in my head. And I'll never forget, my ex wanted to go to like couples therapy one time. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like I'll go, sure. And the therapist asked her to leave the room, and she looks at me and she's like, hey, like if I'm just being honest with you, diagnosing the situation, I don't know if you've ever thought of this. She said, you couldn't save your last girlfriend, so you're trying to save this one. And I was like that was deep. And I never thought about it consciously, but maybe subconsciously, you know, that's what was happening. Because my ex, it's sad, but it's like the mental health, the anxiety, the depression, eating disorder, attempted suicides. Like it was just really, you know, it's tough, like what she goes through. And I have a big heart and I care about people. And I always was trying to save her because I would see her at her best, which was 1 or 2% of the time. So I knew what her potential was, but I tried so hard to get her into that potential for 8 years, and it just never happened. There's just a lot of drama and a lot of stuff that just wasn't great. And I got convinced, hey, if you marry me, it'll solve all of our problems. And I did. And it was the worst 14 months of my life. Like slept on the couch every single night, drank Jack Daniels out of the bottle every single night to just numb the anxiety. I was so claustrophobic in my own head because I felt so trapped and so stuck. And then we were at dinner one night in Orlando, and I just on the drive home, I just looked at her. I was like, fuck this. I can't do it. I can't do it. Not for another day. I'm sleeping in my office tonight and I'm out tomorrow.
What year was that?
Man, we're just 26. I think it was 23.
Okay.
It was like the beginning, middle-ish of 2023.
So you're 27 now?
I'm 31 now.
31 now?
Yeah. I'll take 27 though.
Yeah,
Shit, you know?
Yeah, no, you definitely look 27, not
Yeah,
31.
I appreciate that.
I can't say the same. But, what was the hardest part about marriage?
I mean, the marriage didn't really change anything. It just put a legal contract with the government on top of the shitstorm we were already in.
Yeah.
So the hardest part about marriage was getting divorced. Because if I was just dating or engaged, I can just walk out and leave.
Yeah.
I can take my assets. I can take my mental health back. And in a day, we're done. But the divorce got dragged out and on and on. I ended up spending about $150,000 to get out, which that was before I had my own company.
Yeah.
So comparatively speaking, like, I mean, I'll make that back next month. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal now. Yeah. But looking back, that was a lot of money for me at that time. And it was just got dragged on and on and on, and had to go to virtual court and pay an attorney a ton of money. And like, it was hell to get out. That was probably just as bad as being in, was having to go through the multiple month cycle of trying to get out.
So we got some of the roots done. We got some of the tough times done. Now let's go to the good times.
Yeah.
The good times roll.
Like the private jet to Mexico last week? Yeah.
Yeah, so, 2000, well, let's start there, all right? Take all the personal side away. Professionally, obviously you're one of the best, if not the best, sales coaches in the game. Something that, I'm very familiar with. having multiple successful offers. At what point did you transition that you knew that you were good at sales, what experience, practice? Let's talk through that.
Yeah, so I got into the online coaching space in 2019.
Okay.
And then I started my first sales job in 2020. So June of 2020, I joined a company, this guy, Elliott Heck, shout out to him, changed my life. And they had just done their first $300,000 month. I stayed there for 2.5 years.
What was the offer?
Done with you YouTube ads.
Okay.
So I was teaching business owners, entrepreneurs, restaurants, real estate agents, YouTube ads. And he was by far the best in the game, like not even close. And it was just at a time, this perfect storm of opportunity where Meta was shutting down accounts and stuff like that. And everyone was looking to YouTube. And so we scaled that from 300,000 a month to 1.7 million a month, around the Inc. 5,000 2 years in a row. My first month, 40K in sales, second month, 100K, third month, 200K. And on that third month, I realized I was good. And then I just poured every ounce of effort and energy I had into getting better and better and better and better. And I led that team for 2.5 years, ended up becoming the head of sales for a little bit. And that was when I started making like 20, sometimes 30,000 a month. It was all getting spent by my ex, but it was coming in, and it felt cool to see on a tax return, like 200, 300K in a year. But yeah, I would say after the third month, I knew like, okay, I'm pretty damn good at this.
Yeah. And then what was the exit from that into your next, not job? Is that when you started your offer?
No, I got fired.
Okay.
I built 3 companies, got fired from all of them.
Why'd you get fired?
I'm really good at rocking the fucking boat.
There you go.
Dude, if I see something that I know to be unethical or not good or not beneficial long-term, like I have the balls to say something about it. And I think there's a lot of people that are just yes men or yes women and they won't.
What was going on that you didn't agree with?
So they had made some shifts, and I don't want to like talk bad about them because they changed my life. I'll always love them for that. But we had a head of sales, David. We all love this guy. He was like a pretty big dick, but he really cared about us. He really pushed us. He cared about the clients. Like he was just very masculine, and we all respected him. And we scaled it up to 1.7 million. And the next month we did like 1.4, 1.5, and he got fired. And it's like, and the CEO was like, hey, we should have done 3 million last month. And we're like in our heads, we're like, how the hell do we go from 1.7 million to 3 million? We don't even have the leads for that. Like, what do you mean? And then they fired David, who we loved, and we all realized that we were expendable. And so they basically made me and this guy, Adam, like joint heads of sales together. And Adam really wanted to just be the head of sales because him and I never got along.
Yeah.
I was younger, he was older, he was married, I wasn't. Like he was a liberal, I was a Republican. Like it was like, we were very much like opposites, right? So we're always competing, and I was kind of this young gun, no sales training, just came out of the gate and started fucking killing it.
He was more like Julian Becerra.
Yeah, him and Julian would get along great. No, so it's just like, we were joint heads of sales, and he basically threw me under the bus so he could just be the head of sales. And then he really wanted to make a statement to the team of like, I'm taking things serious. I'm going to run this team. And so his first order of business when he was the full head of sales was to fire me. Dude, I still have the company record there. I did 485,000 in sales by myself one month. They will never find someone to close like I did on that offer. 9,800.
Okay. So damn, 50 units.
Yeah. And we had a 30K offer. We sold a little bit less. That was in there. But, yeah, if you know like Dr. Pompa, so they're doing like a couple million a month. So I closed them that month on like a 100K offer we customized for them, which is cool, which helped the numbers. But yeah, his first order of business was to fire me. And so I was like, all right, whatever. So then I partnered up with a guy that I had sold into that offer, and he was kind of stuck at 25,000 a month, came in as a growth consultant, scaled him to $250,000 a month in 10 months. And then he fired me because this guy was off his rocker. Like this guy was out of his mind. Like he was making the craziest decisions, and just like, I'm like, dude, you cannot do this. And it was always going back and forth on compensation for the marketing guy. Like it was just nuts. And he fires me. He's like, dude, you're not talking to me like I'm your boss. I'm like, that's because you call me your business partner. Boss, business partner, 2 different things, right? So there's like a hierarchy and a level of respect. And I was like, you're calling me your partner. You want to give me equity in the business. So I'm very much treating you like my equal, not my boss. So it's kind of a disconnect there. He fired me, and then I partnered up with his friend, and I scaled her from 100,000 a month to 550,000 a month. We were at a 60+% close rate on ice cold traffic coming from cold email. Like people are literally getting on the call and like, who are you again? What do you do? And we're one call closing them for 9,800 at 60% plus. And she was like, we need to change the way that we pitch. We're not as aggressive. Like we need fast action incentives. And I'm like,
Closing at 60%.
I'm like, excuse me, we're closing at 60% by any stretch of the imagination is good. You stack on top of it, it's cold email and cold traffic is unheard of. Yeah. We're scaling at record pace. Like we don't need to change anything. And there's just this massive disconnect. And then my close rate tanked because she wanted me to change the way that I knew how to do sales and it didn't work. And then she fired me.
For those listening, like we closed at 25%, which is like really good. So 60% is
unheard of.
Yeah.
Dude, we were absolutely crushing it. Yeah. And there was just a disconnect there. But I was also at that time making like 30, 40K a month. And so I think she realized like, do I really want to pay this guy 30, 40K? Because I was getting multiple streams of income from her, getting paid a salary to consult her and help her, getting paid 15% commission when everyone else was at 10, 2.5% overrides on the whole team. Like a sales coaching program, we built 50% on that. So it was like all these streams of income. And I think she was like, this is becoming very expensive.
I mean, I'm sure she's not doing 550 right now anymore.
She scaled it up to $1 million a month and then just shut it down and ghosted. Her only goal was to make $10 million in cash because she was an employee, got fired and almost went broke and homeless. And so she told me my only goal, I don't care about helping people. I want to put $10 million in my pocket and then disappear.
And what was her offer?
It was teaching cold email to career coaches, leadership coaches, and executive coaches. So we were sending hundreds of thousands of cold emails. So we were using the system. Okay. So it worked really well.
So and some people got hung out to dry a little bit.
And then I believe, don't quote me, but I believe I was told through the grapevine that all those people that did get hung out to dry filed a massive lawsuit against her.
That is insane.
And then I was like, okay, the first company made a bad decision firing David. The second company, the guy's fucking insane. Third company, like I just am tired of listening to people. I'm starting my own offer. Yeah. So November of 2023, got fired from her. So my income went to zero. I was building a house that I couldn't afford because I'd already signed the contract on that. And then I was going through a divorce and I was like 30, 35 pounds overweight all at the same time. Hell and yeah. I was living in basically like a 15 by 12 tiny little studio apartment that I rented for $1,000 a month for my mom in St. Pete over by the Don Cesar. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just go all in. I don't have a choice. I got to work out. I got to eat healthy. I got to build my company. Like I got to finish this divorce. And I just went all in on myself. Never had more fun in my entire life.
So let's dig in. November 2023. What were the early days like?
I never had more fun. Just looking at myself, disgusted with how I looked. It's like, okay, well, what can you do about it? Go to the gym every day. Great. Eat healthy, do your cardio, and just take care of your physical health. Great. Your company is nowhere. Figure out how to get leads. Figure out how to close some deals. Structure your offer. Get this thing off the ground as fast as possible. Building a house is nothing I could do.
What was the initial offer?
Same as what I'm doing now. Okay. It's just a little cheaper.
Cool.
Pretty much the exact same.
And then let's go through that. I know what it is, but what's your offer now?
Yeah, so right now it's 12 weeks, 15K. You get a handful of one-on-one calls with me. You get access to 3 group calls per week, 2 with me on sales, and then 1 about marketing with a client of mine who's really good at marketing. And then we have a Slack community to share wins and ask questions, and then 2 years access to all the back-end videos.
And from then to now, what was the price then?
When I first launched, it was 7, which I knew was radically undercharged. Yeah. So it's going to be 7 just like temporarily. Closed a couple at 7, went to 9, closed a couple at 9, went to 9,800, stuck at 9,800 for a little bit, and then went to 11K payment plan, 9,800 PIF, and then went to 15K payment plan, 12K PIF, and now it's just 15 regardless of how it's paid.
I feel like that 12 to 15 is a sweet spot.
It's good.
In high ticket.
It's good. Yeah.
Because one of ours is 12 and one of ours is 20. So, we're right there, in between there. What did you learn the most in those, with not, yeah, sure, you were leading teams, but you weren't necessarily the entrepreneur or the owner. What did you learn the most, 2023, early 2024 about entrepreneurship?
If it's meant to be, it's up to me. When you're a full-time, real entrepreneur,
yeah,
you got to figure it out. You got to make the executive decisions and you have to do it. When you're a 1099 independent contractor working for someone, like in a sales role, you technically on paper, yes, you're an entrepreneur. But if the offer owner, the CEO comes in and says, hey, we're doubling price, you can say whatever you want, but it's still going to happen. Mm. So you're kind of in control, kind of not. You're more in control of your schedule and less in control of everything else. In 2023, when you're a full-blown entrepreneur and you're building a $870,000 house that you don't have the down payment for, but you've already put down $42,500 for good faith deposit, and you're going to lose that if you can't come up with the other $200K you need. Figure it out.
Yeah. It's funny. I was I'm always thinking about, them and them and their future and the mistakes I made. And I thought, I grew up and similar to, it was go get a job, invest in your 401k, do all that stuff. I think the mistake I made, I graduated to be a teacher. I had no business.
You were supposed to be a teacher.
I was a teacher.
What'd you teach?
For 1 year in South Carolina, I was 9th grade geography and 12th grade economics.
Wow.
So teacher and football coach to landed a sales job in Tampa. And you and I agree, like if you want success, start door to door and get your teeth knocked in for a little bit. I talked to Sam, our big Sam, because he started in door to door. And that's what I would have done different. Now I played baseball at South Carolina, so that played into it. But if I wouldn't have played, I still wouldn't have done it. But I wish I would have not played. And I wish I would have gone door to door, at 18, 19 years old.
I did network marketing. So that was my door-to-door was network marketing. And I was 18 and got into the world of network marketing. It changed my life forever. People are like, oh, you're doing a pyramid scheme, you're this, you're that. Dude, the amount of skills I learned of self-development, speaking on stage. Like I speak on stage now at least 4 or 5 times a year. And people are like, how do you just do that so naturally? I'm like, I've been doing it since I was 18 because of network marketing.
What was the product?
Healthy energy drinks.
Nice.
So it's called Vima. It was healthy energy drinks, protein shakes. It was endorsed by Dr. Oz. So
nice. What is your advice to, someone who's hungry, someone who wants to, they're 18, 19, between 18 and 23 years old. They're hungry. They want success. You and I both agree high ticket's probably, not probably, it's a great spot for them.
Yep.
Now what?
Dude, with Instagram now, there's no excuse. There's a million different ways, but I think here's where people get hung up. They want to get into these roles with no experience, and the easiest way to do it is to pay for experience. Mm-hmm. Like if you want to get into insurance, find the best damn insurance agent you can, pay them whatever amount of money they require. Like even if they don't have an offer. Mm-hmm. If you say, dude, I'll give you $5,000 as my entire net worth and life savings, I will pay you $5,000 so I can learn this skill from you, they'll probably do it. And then you learn the skill. When you have the skill, companies will come knock down your door to come work for them. So
because I think there's a huge demand for good closers and good setters for that matter.
Yeah, but people go to college to learn a skill so they can go get a job. Yeah. But then they expect to just learn sales for free for nothing, right? So if you really are serious about learning it, pay somebody, whether it's in high ticket, whether it's in insurance, whether it's pest control, door to door, whatever. Just find a mentor that you trust and you believe in, who's doing good work and is ethical. Pay them whatever amount of money they require, and then just learn everything you can, do what they do, say what they say, and then just ride their coattails.
And you probably learn 70 to 80% on how to be a top end closer, a top end setter for free on YouTube and Instagram.
You could,
yeah, and then get to an offer where there's leadership in place to train you. That's what I like about our offer is you're working with Sam. Who's I would argue one of the best trainers. Has worked with some of the same guys we talked about earlier, Cole Gordon. Some of the best sales trainers throughout the industry. When you work with offers for the very first time, they just come into your program. What are some of the most common mistakes they're making in their presentation or in their offer?
It's really not in the presentation of the offer, it's in themselves. They don't believe in themselves. They have a massive lack of confidence in who they are and what they do, which has been one of my superpowers over my 31 years on planet Earth, is just a radical confidence in myself to where if I say, let's go build $1 million company, I don't have fear, doubt, anxiety. What if it doesn't work? Why me? Am I good enough? What if I make it all and lose it all? I just don't have those thoughts. And that was part of the advantage of my parents getting divorced. My dad told me over and over and over again, you can do, have, and be anything you want in this life if you're willing to put your mind to it and work hard enough for it. So that was just beat into my head. And I'll give an example of that. I was very short growing up. I was kind of a late bloomer, and I played football, and I told him hey, I don't really want to play football anymore. I'm not big enough. He said, what do you mean you're not big enough? I said, I'm not big enough. He said, you're a running back. And I said, I know. And it's just the linebackers are so big. And I said, I'm so short. And he said, it's perfect because when they give you the ball, if you're short, they can't see you on the other side of the line. Mm-hmm. So he was always reframing my mind to realize that everything I had was actually an advantage, not a disadvantage, if you just look at it through a different lens and different context. Most entrepreneurs especially in the coaching world, this is their first time being an entrepreneur. Me, I've done network marketing. I've done all different kinds of things. I took over my dad's landscape company. Like, I've really been a serial entrepreneur my entire life for the most part. So coaching is not my first crack at entrepreneurship, but for most coaches, it is their first time ever being an entrepreneur, and they lack that confidence in themselves and their ability to scale massive companies very quickly. And so they undercharge, they over-deliver, they just don't put forth what they actually could if they believed in themselves at a higher level.
And where is the offer at right now monthly?
Mine?
Yeah.
Right around 200.
And then I'm assuming you want to scale that?
Yeah, it's been tough with the marketing side of things to scale it. But dude, at the same time, like, yes, I want to scale, but also we run at like 75% profit margins. I have one employee. It's my brother who I retired from corporate America. He has a wife and 2 kids. He gets to stay home and he loves what he does. He makes more money, has more freedom, and profit margins are good. Like, I'm able to put at least $100,000 a month net profit in my pocket every single month. Is that a ton of money? In my opinion, not really, but it affords me the lifestyle where I can pretty much do whatever I want.
Well, let's say that you wanted to scale aggressively. Like, how would you do it?
I would have to get marketing dialed, which I've spent over 6 figures on paid ads, and those have been tough to crack. And I think it's because my ideal client is 2 things. One, they're not aware they have a sales problem. They blame the leads. So it's easier to tell their agency or their marketing coach, oh, these leads aren't good. Well, it's like, I would have closed them, so I think they're just fine. You just suck at sales, but they think they have a leads problem. They need more and they need better. And then number 2, what I hear from my existing clients all the time, they say, I didn't want to get on a call with you because I see your content, I follow you, I've seen you speak on stage, and I know if I get on a call with you, you're going to close me. So I had to close myself. So I'm like, why did you take so long to hire me? You've known me for 8 months. And they're like, I had to close myself before I got on a call just to give you a credit card and let you close me.
And then
how do I beat that? Like, what do I do for that?
Well, what KPI can be focused on to show someone they have a sales problem?
Well, it's just low close rate. Right? Like, if your close rate is anything less than 60%, you have a problem.
Less than 60?
Less than 60, you have a problem. Especially on warm traffic. If you're doing organic, if you're running paid ads and warming them up with a webinar and retargeting, like,
But how do you prove to them, is there a KPI to prove to them that it's not the lead problem, it's a close problem? Because just because there's a low close rate, they can just blame it on leads.
They can blame it on leads, but the reality is, as soon as they start going through the training and the close rate starts skyrocketing, even though we haven't changed lead quality, they realize very quickly. Because I've been doing this now in the online space 6 years. I hear it all the time. It's leads, it's this, it's that. It's like, okay, well, hire me. And dude, I've put guarantees on my program before. It's like, okay, I guarantee I can raise your close rate to this, and if I can, I'll take the calls for you and show you that it's possible. How
do you handle, at what point will you scale to hiring setters and hiring closers?
I don't know if I ever will. Like, I have a 91% close rate over the last 24 months. It's like, I don't need to take that many calls to make a bunch of money. I'm really bullish on another offer I just partnered up on called Her Fit Biz. And it's basically a client of mine. Her name is Rachel. She hired me, came cold from ads. So ads worked that time. And she was stuck at like 30, 40K a month. Last month, she did 453K. And so I fixed her entire sales process, got her dialed in.
What's the offer?
$3,000 fitness coaching for women.
Fitness coaching.
Yeah, 3K. She did 151 units last month.
Virtual?
Yeah, 3 months, 3K if it's paid in full. And then we're raising it to 3,500 paid in full, 4K payment plan on the 15th of January. But her and I went into business together teaching other female fitness coaches how to scale, from the offer creation to the price point, ideal client selection, marketing, sales, fulfillment, team, systems, automations. It's really a one-stop shop for females who are either like maybe a personal trainer at Crunch, they want to be a fitness coach, or they're already a fitness coach, but they're stuck at 5, 10, 20, 30K a month. We're going to come in and show them how to scale that up to multiple 7 figures. So I'm very bullish on that because she's the face, and I know the marketing will work. Like, we're running $500 a day right now, and like good calls are coming in, and I'm a 50-50 partner on that. So I'm really excited about that offer, because if the marketing is cracked, I know how to infinitely scale companies, right? And so I manage her sales team now on the fitness side of things. And then we have this other offer we're 50-50 on. And again, if marketing is dialed, I can infinitely scale.
Besides her close rate dramatically increasing because of you, what else went well to improve so much?
Yeah, so it wasn't just the close rate, but it was also the full sales process. So number one, she was doing a 2-call close. And on the first call, she was basically giving them, hey, go track your food for 7 days, submit it to me, then I'll review it, and then we'll get on a second call, and then I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. And number one, it took a ton of time. Number two, it was so delayed because now you have one call that took time, 7 days, that's a waste of time, another call, and then they still might not buy. So I fixed that to just go to a 1-call close, helped her raise the price to charge what she was actually worth. And then as soon as she started closing deals, she just reinvested all that into the marketing. Yeah. I plugged her in with my buddy Alec. He took over all the marketing and started cranking leads. Then we went out, built her a duplicatable sales script and sales process, and then just started hiring closers and training them. And
then Alex is going to start pile on dollars.
Oh, we're maxing out meta ads right now of what like the TAM will let us spend. And then we're starting Instagram organic, YouTube ads, all different kind of stuff.
You know, in regards to TAM, and like, you can't just go from spending $500 in ads to spending $100K in ads. Talk through that and why you have to ramp up in TAM and everything.
I still don't know why you have to ramp up. Meta should just want to take your money, dude. Yeah. Like Meta should just let you spend whatever you want. Yeah. But for some reason, when you try and spend more that quickly, it kind of breaks everything. Yeah. So it's a grind, right? But that's why close rate is so damn important, because if you can keep stacking more money into ads and also keep increasing close rate, you're astronomically making more money. If your close rate stays the same and you incrementally 5% every week or 5% every month increase ad spend, your revenue is only going to go up by 5 or 6%. Yeah. But if you can double close rate and go up 5%, you're just quantum leaping the business.
Yeah, our offer is interesting because essentially it's a $250K offer.
Sure.
We require the individual to have $250K because they got to go buy the house, they got to buy the furniture. It's not just now up front, it's a $20K, PIF required. So like it's a hybrid $20K/250K. So you and I am trying to have the listeners learn, like, it's all a math game, is all it is. We know what our close rate is, 25%, 24 to 26, or, depending on the month.
I bet I could get that to 35.
I'll let you.
I bet I could.
Yeah. So the problem, well, like I said, I don't want to say the problem. It's just the reality is, once again, it's a $250K offer. It's not a $20K offer. And then, so what we did, the goal was to do, 30 a month, yep. and we hit that. And so to get 30 a month, we have to have 200 leads with a 75% show rate, the 25% close rate would get us right around that 30 people a month. So now it's, all right, how do we get to 50? How do we get to 100? So now we're just scaling ads because our ROAS is a 7x.
Yep.
So it's very easy to go on the front end on the 20K, not on the, like I showed you, other businesses on the, the total, revenue from all the companies only on the front end.
And you can scale your ad spend and also at the same time triple down on sales, because with the price point and the volume, even if you bumped close rate 2%, that's going to net you hundreds of thousands of dollars over the next year or two.
The other thing, we can talk about this off camera, that we're looking at doing is like, all right, but each client's worth about 100K of fees on the management fee, on the phase 2 fee, kind of everything. So total ROAS is stupid if you calculate it like that.
Lifetime value of the client.
So like how would close rate go to 35% to 40% to 60% if it's a 10K price point, not a 20K price point? Now I would argue, this is the conversation we're having internally, like, okay, well now it's just client has to have 240 instead of 250.
Yeah, same thing.
It's just, like, what's the difference? But then is it more or less just like an unconscious like mind thing that it's 10K less? I don't know.
Yeah, but you want them to have skin in the game so they actually do the work, because if you're talking to anyone who has $250,000, that means for the most part they're probably successful. Right. Whether a doctor, lawyer, entrepreneur, investor, whatever. Those people are busy and they're constantly being pulled for attention. If they don't pay, they won't pay attention.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just getting free consultation from you. So.
Yeah, it's fine. I love it. I mean, dude, I could sit here and talk business for the next 6 hours. You missed a flag football game over there.
No, he wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah.
We got a 2-0 versus 2-0. We got to go kick some ass tonight.
Yeah.
Besides close rate, what's some of the top KPIs you look at?
Show rate. Yeah. I mean, obviously on the back end with client success, like in my opinion, client success is the most important thing on planet Earth.
And then everything.
Yeah. I don't give a shit how much you charge, how little you charge, how well you close. If you're not doing good work, I don't care about you. Like there's so many shitty coaches and consultants in the industry. If you're not doing good work, you're not changing people's life, you don't care about people, I don't care about you. So like none of that matters. So client success is really important. So what's your continuation rate? Like once people finish, do they continue with you? Do they upsell? Do they ascend? Do they send you referrals? Do they give you testimonials? Things like that. Show rate's also important. If you have a 100% close rate and a 7% show rate, like you just don't have that much opportunity. The way that I fix that is kind of like a suite of things. It would be, number one, obviously ads that speak to the right people, number one. Number two, qualification questions to make sure they actually are a good fit, because people make time for what's important to them. And if they're not a good fit, then they're going to book the call and then be like, I don't really care about this. Number three, post-call booking page, post-call booking video. So they get redirected there after booking. Then your email drip sequence shares case study stories and testimonials and actual information, rather than, hey, your meeting's in 12 hours. Like no one gives a shit. It doesn't increase show rate. But when you say, hey, we just took this person from here to here, changed their life, here's what they had to say, how to make a video for you, and it links to their testimonial, that's helpful. And then if you really want to get technical, you would pixel the post-call booking page, and then you would build a retargeting audience off of that pixel. And then you do 10 videos breaking down the most common objections and things that you hear on sales calls, and some testimonials in there as well. You set the frequency of each video to 1, and then you blast it over the next 24 to 48 hours. So as soon as they book, they now have 10 additional touch points on social media that have no call to action. It's just nurturing them, breaking down limiting beliefs, getting them excited for the call. If you implement all of those things, your show rate will be very good.
What do you like show rate to be?
80, 90.
Yeah. What's been the toughest part since 2023 besides marketing?
Saying no to things.
Yeah.
Like if we take out marketing, it's saying no to things. I've built an incredible network of high-level successful entrepreneurs in Tampa. There's always a yacht. There's always a meat market dinner. There's always a party. There's always this. There's always that.
Where are you going tonight?
I'm a sucker for a good time, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
who's going to meat market?
Like Christian, Daniel, it's kind of the boys. Yeah. It's 8 of us, but
I think Christian just has a standing reservation every Friday night.
He's pretty solid on that. Yeah, he's we've never had a bad time together at meat market, but yeah, it's like, I think maybe because I feel like I wasted so much of my 20s in a toxic relationship, I almost have like time to make up, I feel like. And I'm just a sucker for a good time, dude. Like life is short. I want to enjoy it. And like, I'm not stupid with my money. Like I save plenty of money. I could go spend the next couple of years traveling the world if I wanted, but I just love having a good time, dude. I love just meeting people, good people, entrepreneurs, hanging out and making memories.
Do you want to get remarried?
I think I would date, potentially. I could date and maybe get engaged. Okay. I don't think I want another contract with the government that can only fuck me. Like it cannot do anything good for me. Like, cause I really don't know if I want kids.
I told Instagram you were coming on. I had like 18 DMs. Like, is he single?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. What was his name? Yeah. You know what I mean? So no, but I don't know, dude. It's like, I'm just living life day by day. I'm not taking things too seriously. I'm just moving and grooving. And
did you see what Mike Tomlin said when they beat the Ravens last week? So one of the announcers was like, he said this on like live TV, like ESPN. It was like, one of the interviewers like, hey, what if you would have lost? And he was like, what if my aunt had male parts?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
He was like, I don't know. That's so funny.
I don't know if I'd sign. I probably will not sign another contract with the government because it's really, really tough to go through that. Yeah. And like, dude, I'm big on like energy and happiness, and going through that divorce was like really draining no matter what. And I was forced to go through it just because of that signed piece of paper that we got at the courthouse.
Yeah, I got lucky. Like growing up, horrendous. I would say, I don't want to throw it completely under the bus, but not fun growing up with the mom I had. So I knew, like when I was looking for a wife, like, hey, first and foremost, got to be a good mom, right? And I got lucky because this is his first day in the office, but. I can come here, I can go to the office in Clearwater every day and like lock in knowing that everything's good.
Yeah. You got to have it.
Yeah.
See, I don't know if I want kids.
Yeah.
So then, like, what's the benefit of getting married?
Yeah.
I mean,
Come on, dude.
I get engaged.
Nah, the best thing ever. Kids are the best thing ever.
Yeah, but that's what everybody says. But dude, I've just never had that feeling or that calling, like growing up, like I really want to be a dad.
Yeah.
And I know, like you can see how I interact with him since the second I get here. Like I would be a great dad. I mean, self-proclaimed. I don't know. Maybe people think I'd be shit, but I think I'd be a really great dad. I've just never had the calling or the feeling to do it.
Well, here's my pitch. I think you should do it.
No, let's see if you can close the closer.
Yeah, no. That's, I'm not getting in between you and the lady on that one. So what's next for you?
You know, people ask me all the time, like, oh, what's your 5-year plan? You're this, you're that. And I'm like, I just hope I don't die tomorrow. You know, like I'm kind of just waking up and being the best version of myself today. And I know that if I just keep being the best today, where I get a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, will be so far beyond what I even thought was possible, that I'm just trying to be the best version of me and trying to help my clients, trying to stack as much cash as I can, have as much fun, make as many memories as possible, and not step on any toes or heads in my pursuit of my own growth. I just believe in the law of increase. Leave everything better than you found it, and just keep every day doing what you want to do and being the best version of yourself.
Love it. I ask every single person on the podcast, last question I always ask is, with it being successful DNA, whether it's yourself or some of the people you've talked about that you've been around that have been successful, what are like 2 or 3 things like inside their DNA that has made them successful?
It's hunger. It's actually the desire to become someone or something. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people, the majority of people, they just don't have that desire. They just don't really care. We call them simpletons or average, like, and that's okay, right? Like I don't think there's enough room in the world for everyone to be successful. And compare me and my success and results to so many other people, I'm nothing. You know, I am not successful in a lot of people's eyes, but I think the ones who are doing better than most, they just have a desire and a hunger to be in shape or to make more money or to have better relationships or to build a bigger business. Not everybody's hungry, man. Not everybody really cares that much. And I think that there will be a moment where the hunger is injected into them. And I'll give you an example. If you just really don't give a shit about your health, and there's a lot of people who don't, maybe they get diagnosed with something, or maybe someone in their family dies from something, and then they have this switch that happens in their head, and they're like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And they're like, I need to do better. I need to change. And they just, boom. Tony Robbins says change happens in an instant, the instant you decide to change. And in that instant, the pain is so great that they immediately become hungry for change, and they become inspired, and then they go on this journey to do and be. Most people just don't have that. And until you do have hunger and a desire, you're not going to work long hours. You're not going to go the extra mile. You're not going to take care of your employees. Like, you're just going to do the bare minimum, and then you're going to get the bare minimum. And then, in my opinion, you just live a very normal, average life. And if that's what you want, amazing. But I was just born and raised to want a hell of a lot more than the average. I can't do it. I can't settle.
Amen, bro. Well, guys, thank you for listening to another episode of the pod. Where can people learn more about you?
Instagram's probably the best spot. Just THE, Austin Medlin, Medlin.
Cool. We're pulling for you, bro.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Yep.